As I'm sure everybody could have predicted, Donald Trump has spent the last day and a half freaking out on Truth Social after Judge Arthur Engoron found that he, his sons, and his corporation were guilty of defrauding banks and insurance companies. Trump has posted many times on Truth Social, starting early Wednesday morning. His sons, of course, have put out posts as well and videos, and it's not as interesting as what Donald has to say because Donald seems to be freaking out about it more than anybody else. Here's the first post that Donald Trump put up on Wednesday. I have a deranged, Trump-hating judge who railroaded this fake case through a New York state court at a speed never seen before, refusing to let it go to the commercial division where it belongs, denying me everything, no trial, no jury. He made up this crazy kill Trump decision, assigning insanely low values to properties despite overwhelming evidence. There's more. I'm going to get to it. But let's go ahead and address all the lies in that statement. There was no kill Trump decision. That wasn't a part of the verdict or ruling from the judge at all. I think it'd be bigger news if the judge said, by the way, we're going to have to put you down. That didn't happen. So let's be a little more realistic there, Donald. Secondly, the judge didn't assign values to anything. Like, that was not the judge's job. All the prosecution had to do was prove to the judge that you overinflated the values, and that's what happened. The judge himself did not assign any values to any of the properties. That, by the way, is a lie that Eric Trump has also been pushing since the ruling came down. Then, of course, no trial, no jury. Because that's what your lawyers asked for. Like, your legal team actually went to court seeking those things. Y'all wanted a summary judgment. Y'all agreed to not have a jury trial and instead to have a bench trial. So you don't get to whine about that when your side actually pushed for those things. Later on, he had this to say. His anger and hatred is politically motivated and unprecedented by those who watched. My actual net worth is much greater than the numbers shown in the financial statements. A big surprise to him and the racist AG Letitia James, who campaigned for office on a Get Trump platform. While murderers roam the sidewalks of New York, my banks are happy. All loans are current or paid off in full, sometimes early, with no defaults or problems of any kind. There is also an ironclad disclaimer clause. And it's the disclaimer clause that Trump has been hammering on in multiple posts since these posts. Because he says, like, hey, listen, we put a note on the front of all of our applications that says, don't rely on the numbers we give you. Y'all got to do your own due diligence. And the judge ruled like that's not a legal defense. And plus, the banks can't do their due diligence on your numbers when you're giving them fake numbers, so not much they can do with that idiotic disclaimer clause. The other part of his statement, of course, shows what his real concern is. He's concerned that people are going to think he doesn't have as much money as he wants them to think. That's why he's like, my net worth is so much bigger than any of these documents tell you. They're your documents. You put these numbers out there and you're like, I'm worth way more than that. You're not. Like, the documents kind of speak for themselves. Like, there's now a court ruling, thanks to this judge, that says you're not. Like, you can't argue that. And you can't be mad when people say it because, again, we have a verdict now that says you're not worth what you think you're worth. And that has always been Donald Trump's biggest fear of this lawsuit. Not that he has to pay $250 million, not even that his businesses are going to get the corporate death penalty in New York State. His biggest fear was that it would expose that he is not as rich as he says he is, and there's nothing worse for Donald Trump than a massive blow to his ego, and that is what he suffered this week. And that is why he's so pissed off. One of today's video sponsors is Miracle Made. Did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on your sleep quality? If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Inspired by NASA, Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics and makes temperature-regulating bedding so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. Using this silver-infused fabric inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, so you get better sleep every night. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than bed sheets used by some 5-star hotels. And it's designed for your skin. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. Now, I actually made the switch to Miracle Made bed sheets at the beginning of this year, and I couldn't be happier with this product. They keep me cool throughout the night, which means I'm getting better sleep because I'm not waking up all throughout the night from being too hot. You can try it yourself. Go to trymiracle.com/ROF to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code ROF at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/ROF and use the code ROF to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/ROF to treat yourself.